Hey everyone, it's Elizabeth here. So I'm just going to do this quick video on my day here at the vegetarian farm. I would say this might be one of the most memorable experiences I've ever had, and I've done absolutely nothing productive today in terms of survival as a human being. I have just kind of meditated, wrote in my journal, I ate some food, I laid in a hammock. So I went to town to go to the market, and there's absolutely something so peaceful about the energy of this place here. And I'm trying to get some of the water behind me. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, you know, this little vegetarian farm is seriously one of a kind. I'm not sure how even to describe it, because I think you have to be here to feel the energy of it. I mean, I laid in a hammock for 90 minutes and just stared at the top of the trees for an hour and a half. And what was so amazing is that although I was in silence and in stillness and in solitude, everything around me was still functioning the natural method and the natural way. And nature itself has its own patterns. And I think when you can understand the patterns of nature, not only in like shapes of leaves and things like that with different species of plants, you can definitely understand that the outer world is very symbolic to our lives, our behaviors, and our inner world. And I have definitely had patterns in my life, and a big reason why I'm here is, yes, with like love and relationships. And I was just thinking about, wow, how I have patterns of choosing, you know, either certain types of men or what I'm attracted to. And what's funny is, I know like a lot of people don't believe in my spiritualness, but I consulted a psychic years ago, and I was asking about like a past life, and she told me about one that I lived in Europe. And you know, I was like the daughter of a nobleman, and my husband was like a knight or a soldier to some degree, maybe not necessarily a knight, but just a soldier. But my soulmate, or the person that I loved, the love of my life, was actually kind of a poor peasant, common folk person. And my punishment for the infidelity that they caught me for was that they pulled my eyes out. And so she knew nothing about me, and she asked if I have eye issues. She said, you were blind for part of your life in that past life, and I believe that you incarnated with eye problems. And I like literally almost shit myself in that moment, because I'm actually almost legally blind. Like my contacts are -9. That's pretty bad eyesight. I can't see anything, you know, clearly more than 2 or 3 inches away from my face. And it's funny because my family, they all have really good vision. I mean, they might need readers, which is normal for like people in their 50s and 60s, but I was like, man, that's impressive. So anyways, my point is, I've noticed throughout my life, I've always just really liked common folk man. I've never really been interested in these kind of upper echelon, like rich guys driving cars. I mean, yeah, they might be like good to look at for a moment, but I've never really been into that. Even my ex-husband, you know, when I met him, he was once homeless, which is why he ended up working in homelessness. And he worked at Coca-Cola throwing pop on the shelves at the grocery store as his job in his undergrad and master's degree. And I would go and visit him in the grocery stores in Toledo, Ohio. And, you know, he just started off as a common man, and he made a very good career for himself in housing and in the government. And, you know, I don't know where he is today, but he started blogging for it and actually almost, you know, had some pretty good opportunities in Europe. So, you know, I think what I'm trying to get at it here is like my pattern is being attracted to these like blue-collared souls with white-collared brains, and just very hard-working common man, which is going back to the theme of what I've been saying the last few days. Like, I don't give a shit what their job title is or how much money they make. You know, that could be very Aquarian of me. Aquarians are definitely, you know, kind of attracted to like, I don't know, blue-collaredness maybe is the word, or like a guy that can actually do something. You know, if you're too pansy of a person, it's kind of like a turn off for us. But anyways, and I've been sitting here, I mean, this literally has been a fairy tale. I have lived in a fairy tale for the last 24 hours. I've watched the sun rise, and now I'm watching the sun set, which is in about 20 minutes. And as I've seen the sun kind of move through the trees, it's like the way the lighting hits and the way that the light shines through, it's like this is the land and the life I feel like that God wanted us to have. This is His land, His country. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I really believe we have a lot of spiritual wars going on right now in terms of the mundane human experience, especially within certain cultures and the Abrahamic religions. That's something that's not new. This shit's been happening, you know, for thousands of years. And the interesting part of what I'm trying to get at is just coming from Seattle, where I couldn't imagine seeing like a Seattle person with their little like Beatport headphones, and then they're like spinning their little wheels on these fucking like motorized stand-up skateboard things that I don't even understand what they are, on the Camino. Like, that would be so weird and so unnatural. It's like everything I've experienced here is everything natural that is created by our ancestors. It's created by our hands, by our head, the connection between the head, the heart, and the hand. And there is a really big battle right now between the natural and the artificial world. And this is why I've been kind of complaining about certain stuff online with these kind of tech guys, because, you know, people, I don't think they really understand how common certain trends or things are in this city, because, you know, these people are revolved around, like, the tech thing is just, that's just their life. And this artificial world, you know, it's like, look at social media, how much it's made us monsters. I mean, I've fallen down the rabbit hole before in terms of like getting into arguments online and like having to share my opinions and stuff like that. But if this is the battle between the light and the dark, I really think technology is driven more by darkness than it is by light. Like, there definitely are a lot of things technology has brought us, like the ability for me to make this video to communicate to you is amazing, or, you know, something like prosthetics, like that's an amazing